There is a wise man who once said that whatever you chase will run away from you. So stop chasing success and realize you already have it all. Now, this saying comes from a great philosopher, maybe one of the greatest philosophers of our time, named Russell Simmons. Now, Russell makes a really good point here. When you chase something, that means that you don't already have it, that it's just outside of your grasp. And as Russell also pointed out, typically when you chase things, they run away from you. It's the beginning of the new year, and a lot of people are going to be setting and chasing their New Year's resolutions, coming up with ideals and goals for who they want to be, what they want to do, and what they want to accomplish. And for some people, setting New Year's resolutions works really well. Some people can just set a goal, set an idea of something that they want to do and that they want to chase and achieve it. But for me and for a lot of other people, just having an idea of what you want is not enough to actually go and actually obtain that thing. So the best way, in my opinion, to get something that you don't already have is to pretend and behave as if you already have that thing. I think the problem that a lot of people run into is that when they have goals and they set these goals, they don't necessarily see themselves as being the type of person that can attain that thing. So they find themselves feeling that no matter what they do, no matter how hard they work, no matter how badly they want something, that ideal, that image of themselves that they're chasing always feels like it's just out of reach, like it's just within their grasp, but they can never get there. When I became a junior in high school, it was my dream to go to Brown University. Everything from the academics, the culture, to the extracurriculars, everything about the school and that was offered at that university was extremely attracted to me. And it didn't take long for me to commit myself to believing that this is the place that I really want to go. But before I could actually commit to pursuing that goal, upon realizing that this is somewhere that I wanted to be, I had to ask myself a pretty difficult question, which was, am I the sort of person that would go to Brown University? Am I the kind of person that would be accepted into an Ivy League school? And to be completely honest, and I had to be completely honest with myself at that time, I was not. I was not the type of person that would be accepted into the school. There was a lot of work that I needed to do to boost my test scores and my GPA, and that was all important. But the most important thing that made me realize that I was not the sort of person that would go to the school was that I fundamentally didn't see myself as a smart person. I considered myself just as intelligent as anybody else, but I often found myself looking at my peers or other students who had better grades or better test scores and really just saw that they were better performers than me academically. And I thought that while I was decently smart, that I was never one of the top students in the country, or I was never, a high enough caliber to be able to go to an Ivy League school. I just didn't see myself that way. And then I realized that I had to change the way I saw myself if I was going to have any chance at all of getting into the school. I didn't know if I was going to get in. I didn't know if I was going to get rejected. All I knew is that if I was to have any chance, I had to change the way that I thought. So from then on, I started to go to school and I started to pretend like I was smart. I started raising my hand more in class. I started to have more confidence in my answers. I started hanging out with more of the smarter kids at school. I started to do things, go to conferences, read books, do the sorts of things that I thought, I wasn't an Ivy League student, but I thought that these were things that Ivy League students would do. And I started to immerse myself in this act of being an Ivy League student and doing what an accepted student would do. And a year after committing myself to that act, I found myself being admitted into Brown University. And this doesn't go to discount all of the studying, the extracurriculars, all of the hard work, and also the luck of the admissions process. This doesn't discount all of that. All of that was important and played a role in my admission, and I won't say my admission was everything, but my point here is that I don't think any of that would have been possible if I didn't first fundamentally change the way that I saw myself. It might sound cliche, but I had to believe in myself in order for me to have any chance of achieving my goal, which was to get into the school. And in essence, I wasn't trying to become an accepted student. I just pretended like I already was and committed myself to the act. I essentially just faked it until I made it by committing myself to embodying the spirit, the behaviors, the mentality of the type of person that I wanted to be, but I knew at the moment I wasn't already that person. I, and I hate to use this word, but I essentially manifested that version of myself before I actually became that person. Now, as I believe with most things, I think that faith is key to being successful at faking it until you make it. Now, there's a really famous and popular saying that I really enjoy. I don't know where it comes from, but essentially, the saying is that Jesus doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And in this new year, you might feel that God is calling you to do something or to pursue some goal. You might feel like you're being called to get into better shape, to finally get your finances in order, or maybe your resolution and what you feel like your calling is to start a nonprofit. Whatever it is that you feel that you're supposed to pursue, that you feel within your spirit that you're being called to do, at this time, you might not feel that you are qualified to do that thing. You might not feel like you're the type of person that can attain that goal, despite the calling that you feel. Now, the reason I feel so confident in saying that you should fake it until you make it, or you should, in a sense, pretend that you're living out your goal before you even start pursuing it and doing the actionable steps, getting in the gym, eating right, whatever it is, before doing all of those things, the reason I feel so strongly about faking it till you make it is because God already sees who you are and who you can be. It is not looking at you, waiting for you to just magically transform and become qualified so he can then call you to pursue those goals. No, he's calling you and he's just waiting for you to step into that new identity that he has placed for you. The only thing holding you back from waking up earlier, studying your Bible every day, eating healthier foods, going to bed early, going to the gym, whatever it is that is involved in your New Year's resolution, the only barrier between you and those goals isn't discipline, it's not motivation, it's not your schedule, it's none of those things. The only thing between you and that goal is you. Once you start to see yourself as the type of person that already does those things, as the kind of person who already has the lifestyle that you desire, then you can make a conscious decision to step into the life that you want to live and to live that out until it becomes your everyday reality. All of this isn't to say that hard work, discipline, motivation, all of those things, I'm not saying that that doesn't matter. I'm not saying that there's more elements to achieving your goals and to making your New Year's resolution come into fruition. I'm not discounting any of that. And I'm not trying to oversimplify the complex problem and challenge of achieving your goals. I'm not trying to discount any of that. And everything I'm saying here in this video is just a suggestion, and this is what has worked for me. But I truly believe that it's very difficult, if not impossible, to set a really high goal for yourself, to step outside of your comfort zone and say that there's something that you want to fundamentally change about your lifestyle, and not first see yourself as being able to achieve that thing and not seeing it as a part of your identity before actually achieving that thing. So this year, I'd encourage you to stop chasing your goals, to stop chasing whatever it is that you have on your mind, to set them and skip the chasing phase. Just decide to start living it out. Whatever it is, embody it and start to see how the things that used to chase and always seemed out of your reach are now coming to fruition in 2024.